Welcome back to Waz Today, where our Waz today is Freedom, a 1992 release running here on the Apple IIe and Virtual 2 from Mech. This is an educational game, which puts you in the role of being an escaped slave. So, content warning for slavery, enslavement, potentially offensive portrayals of black people, and black speech. Yeah, this game was controversial at the time. Distributed here to Prince William Public School in Virginia, this copy. But it was recalled a few months after its release. There's a good Decoder Ring podcast episode from 2023 about this game. There's a good Vice article about this from 2020, I believe. I'll link those in the description below. But yeah, this was a game that was distributed to schools from MEC, the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium, who also made, Oregon Trail, a bunch of other educational games you may be familiar with, Number Crunchers, made like Lewis and Clark, Stayed Home, which we looked at the other day on the series. But this is Freedom, a game made with the intention of kind of going against some of the criticisms that have been levied against, earlier titles like the Oregon Trail or Lewis and Clark, where you're taking the colonizer's position, you're taking the position of the oppressor in a way, but this is Freedom, where you're taking the position of an escaping slave. And let's check out the information here, see what it was all about. Freedom is a program for students of history and social studies in grades 5 through 9, though older students and adults can use it with good effect. You can use it as a simulation for individual students or for cooperative learning groups. Management options are available. See the manual for information on accessing and using these options. Let's hit space, continue. Okay, so we can practice collecting, organizing, recording, and interpreting data needed to escape, determining directions from observation and logical evaluation, predicting relationships between various groups of people and whether they may help in the escape, summarizing their experiences, and communicating the results of escape efforts in the reports. Okay. And it's got a manual that accompanies the disc with information such as instructional objectives, behavioral objectives, strategies for classroom use, suggested collateral activities, student worksheets, background information. I did find a link to a scan of that manual on the Internet Archive, so I'll link that in the description below. So you can look through that manual as well. It does have some strategies for the game as well, a map that you can use. This is the team that worked on this. There was also a historical consultant, Kamau Kambui, who worked on this. Kind of an interesting history of how this game came about, because MEC, MECC, they're in Minnesota, and this historian, Kamau Kambui, ran Underground Railroad experiences in Minneapolis, I believe. And one of the MEC people, heard about this guy and got in touch with him, and they decided to consult on making this game together. And so a lot of the decisions about, being realistic or being kind of unflinching in what's portrayed here were the result of that collaboration. But even though this game was made with good intentions, it did not have necessarily great outcomes because it was offensive to people because of what it depicts. And also, distributing this to public schools, it's kind of hard to give this experience the appropriate context it needs, that children are always going to understand and go along with, I guess. Let's see here. Let's look at the instructions here. This program provides a problem-solving simulation in which you assume the role of an enslaved African-American trying to escape to freedom. The simulation takes place in the slave states of Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. The date is 1830. The situations you encounter and the actions you must take to be successful are based on historical data. There are 4 personal indicators on the left side of the screen. They tell you your situation concerning nourishment, stamina, health, and injury. Watch them carefully. The following screens show the 6 travel screen areas, including the personal indicators. So yeah, another thing about this game, it's actually incredibly difficult. They wanted to be realistic in portraying how difficult it was to successfully escape enslavement. So here's what the main interface looks like. And we've got the pictures and clues. We've got a clock, sun and stars. We can estimate the time by. Our personal indicators. Injury shows only your worst injury. Okay. We got special commands. Those will change as we go around, as we navigate the map. And then if you get all the way, you can log it back to the disk here. This disk doesn't have anybody on there. But let's check out Freedom. Gotta wait for it to load up, and I think we pick a zone here. I'm gonna pick zone easy. Zone 4 for easy. We pick our character. It is 1830. You were an enslaved African American in the South. When one of your grandfathers was young, he was kidnapped and brought to America. Your other grandfather was a free black man who was forced into slavery after he was accused of breaking a law, which he had not done. Your grandmother's mother was enslaved in Africa and taken to Jamaica, where your grandmother was born. Your other grandmother came from a family of indentured servants who worked Virginia farms in 1619, the year before the Mayflower reached Plymouth Colony. So you can see, you know, this is kind of historically unflinching. You hear that Indian people to the west and south will take you in and let you live the life of a free person. You decide that you want freedom. Search for the Cherokee people to the southwest, but be careful not to go into North Carolina. The place is full of patrollers. All right, so you get some elders you can visit at the start here. And I will warn you, you know, the speech is trying to portray what they believe would be accurate. So, you know, that's kind of a controversial thing. You know, all these, also these portraits are a little bit offensive to some people. So kind of working with what we got here. I'm not going to read all this aloud, but I will, you know, summarize. So we can also ask people for help multiple times, and they'll give us different answers. So we can go to the Quakers. They'll also give us stuff, so we can ask them. Okay, so we'll get some pepper, which we can use to throw dogs off our track. Okay, travel at night. And we gotta orient ourselves because we don't want to go north. We want to go like southwest, because if we go north, we'll get a lot of patrollers. And we can get some money. All right, and then we can hit escape to go back. All right. Okay. Got a knife, okay. Oh, bread and cheese. Okay, so it's good to ask. Okay, give you everything I have. Okay, good to ask, because that's how you can get some things that will help you. $10 is a lot of money, especially then. No, fish hooks. Okay, let's see if he has anything else. Wine. Okay, I think we can fish if we have both of those things. I think if you only ask him once, you only have one of the two things and you can't fish. Okay. Good tip for orienting yourself. Use moss. You can also use the stars. We'll see how that goes for us. Okay, let's see. Oh, got some herbs. Okay. I can help with snake bite. Okay. Use the moss. Okay. All right, so we got some money. I think we visited everybody. I think we can show the pass. I don't know how much that'll help us. Let's go for it. I think... yeah, we're going to have to execute a disc flip, so I will see you on the other side. All right, here we are back on side B of Freedom. I'm going to hit space to continue. Got side B of the disc in. Let's start the game. So we're starting out at night. That's good. Less patrollers at night. So this is another interesting mechanic where if your character cannot read, then they make it so that you can't read the signs with that font. First thing we want to do, though, let's hit 1. Let's orient ourselves. So we can look for moss on trees, or we can look for the North Star. I'm not entirely sure on the North Star thing here. Let's see. So it says we can use the Big Dipper to locate the North Star, so I'm not sure if that's the North Star right there. You see the Dipper-looking thing, Dipper-looking constellation there. I'm assuming that's the Big Dipper, and then the cup points to the North Star, which looks like a big star, and that looks like the handle of what could be a Little Dipper. I think that's correct. So I think right now we're facing north. So if you go escape, if we look for moss on trees, we shouldn't see any moss on trees here. I don't know why we always got trees near us. Yeah. So if we turn left, we facing west, because now the moss is on the north of the trees. So let's go west. So we should be facing west now. We got 99 for everything, so we're good to go. Let's hit escape to go travel. Yeah, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get because, yeah, this game is intentionally hard. And, yeah, this is kind of, you know... why I do this series is because we're looking at, you know, a recalled game in its original uncracked form here. These WAS disk images are about as close as you can get to the original disk image. As close as you can get to a bit-for-bit copy, I guess. Do you want to trust this guy or no? Man. I'm gonna run. Let's keep going. I think we should still be facing west. I don't know if we get disoriented when we run. Oh, man. All right, so... did we not? Okay. We're just going to go and run. We're going to drop the pepper. We escaped. Okay. So that worked. Let's check our inventory real quick. Check our bundle. So we've only got 4 more peppers for dogs. All right. And like here, I don't know if we're disoriented now, but let's keep going forward. Maybe we should rest now. Let's go ahead and rest. Sleep. Because our stamina's going down. I'm gonna wait until night so there's less patrollers here too. All right, I think we might want to eat something. Let's eat. Let's try to keep our bundle. Can we snare? Oh, we're snaring. I didn't even know this was in here. Gotta hit space to trigger the snare. Come on, rabbit. Oh, this wasn't lucky this time, I guess. I don't know if that used up anything. Can we fish? You're in the hills. Oh, there's a fishing mechanic too. Okay, fishing minigame. Let's just forage, I guess. Or burning nightlight here. Got some berries. We'll probably have to eat from our bundle here in a little bit. Let's just go ahead and eat from our bundle so that we get back up to 94. Okay, let's start booking it. But yeah, I was completely unfamiliar with this game before starting the series. I hadn't heard of it. I hadn't heard of that Decoder Ring episode before earlier either. We got a village. Let's check out the hints. It's really difficult to swim all the way across the wide rivers. Okay, I think it just gives you a random hint, maybe. I don't know if I want to do anything with the village. We can knock. We can wait, but I think I'm gonna keep on going. Okay. All right, let's start sleeping. The sun's coming up. Oh, okay, that was a good sleep. I think we can keep on going. Okay, we need to eat. Let's hit 1. And let's take some food from our bundle. Okay. Should we just go ahead and... Let's see if we can redeem ourselves here. Is it when the rabbit is touching any part of the snare, or... Do I have to have the rabbit actually go into the snare? Am I missing something about this? Are they... Maybe this is just intentionally hard. Like, you're not always going to catch a rabbit. That's not going to... Even if you do the cartoon carrot in a snare, you're not going to always catch a rabbit. Got some frogs. Okay. Did I burn the last of my nightlight there? Still look kind of dark. I hope we're still going west. I have no idea. Maybe I should orient myself after I sleep again here. I actually accidentally hit escape there instead of 1. Let's hit 1 to sleep. Also, 1992, quite late for Apple II here. I've done, this is the 360th Waza Day video, and this is the first 1992 game, I think. I think this is the latest game we've looked at so far. Okay. Fallen trees are good. Okay. Take a little nap. Two hours. Okay, good. I guess it's tonight. Let's go back to traveling. Oh wait, let's orient ourselves first. I think that my understanding of the North Star seems to be correct. So, although this time, okay, I think we're facing north now. I think this is the North Star screen if you're playing this at home. So we're facing north, so we'll need to turn left to continue going west. I didn't check my turning when I was orienting myself to see if I was already still going in the correct direction. I think I turned left there. All right, we need to eat. All right, there's an inn here. I don't know if I trust that, though. Feels like trusting anything. It's a good way to lose. Take food. Let's try snaring. Oh. Do it. Let's snare it. We snared a rabbit. That is much more satisfying now that I know that it's actually difficult. And that got us all the way up to 99 nutrition. Is it daytime or nighttime? Let's find out. It's still daytime. Let's oh, I keep hitting escape instead of 1. Let's hit 1, and then let's sleep a little bit longer. And a hedge. Okay. No, it's daytime. Six hours. Let's see here. Let's go back. Let's just wait and rest. Like 2 hours for that sun. Yeah, that should do us tonight. Let's keep going. Ignore the inn. We hear something. Should we run or should we hide? Let's run. Traveling, okay. Been doing pretty well so far. Maybe I've just jinxed myself. But I'm amazed we actually made it. Okay. So yeah, travel at night seems to work well. Now you can work for the abolition of slavery so that others can be free. But I think that's going to do it here for me with Freedom for Wazaday. And if you like old educational games for the Apple II like this, then go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time for our next Wazaday.